Problems of driving the girlfriend's car really close up into the steering wheel. I have zero space here. Gotta move that back a bit. What's going on, you guys? Just going to pick up my BC locking rings that I ordered, and also new wheels. You got that right. Got my new wheels in. I'm excited. She's somewhat kind of excited, maybe, probably not, but I'm excited. You should be excited. So we're just gonna go grab some coffee, go pick up the wheels, and head back home. Boom, there it is. Got the wheels, got the rings. These are the two new rings that I've been waiting for about 3 weeks. Put the whole project on hold. These are the old ones. Completely mangled. That's why I ordered two new ones. So we'll get back to the original video from 3 weeks ago. Stay tuned, watch to the end. I'll reveal the wheels at the end of the video. Here we have my BC Racing coilovers off of my 2013 Mercedes Benz C 300. Today's video, I'm going to disassemble the entire shock itself, lower collar, lower ring, the two spring lock rings, disassemble the spring, the top hat, and the dampening screw itself. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove your dampening adjustment. So you're going to need a wrench. I'm just got it adjustable here. Lock it on, break it free, and it should just unscrew and pop right up, just like that. Second step, I'll be removing the lower collar. I've already loosened this ring. If you've watched my part 1 video, you will remember I mangled this lower ring trying to unseize it. Like I said, this is loose, so I'm just gonna unthread this from the actual shock body. One thing that you're definitely going to want to do is grab yourself some anti-seize. When you buy these brand new, they just become dry. It's metal on metal. After the weather, rain, road grime, dirt, dust get on the threads, they'll seep in behind, and that's what seizes everything up. So luckily, I did this process before I installed these brand new on the car. And if you can see this silver in between the thread, that's the anti-seize, and it's coming off really easily. So make sure you guys use anti-seize before your installs. Lower collar has been removed. It's in really good shape, and like I said, the anti-seize, I really went heavy on it, which I'm glad I did. It made this really easy to undo. Next, we are going to take off the main 22mm nut that attaches down into the piston itself, which holds the top hat and spring together. I know there's not a lot of compression because I've already backed these rings off. If you're doing this at home, make sure you have spring compressors that lock the spring in place to hold that tension while you undo that bolt, or it could just blow apart on you as you take that nut off. So here we go. And there we have it. Top hat, top mount, which is really dusty and dirty. There's bearings in here that help while you steer. The spring doesn't bind on you, so that's going to be cleaned up. Rubber mount for the top of the spring. Your spring itself, and your rubber boot stop. Alright, so just to show you the spring perch lock nuts or rings, how much gunk actually gets built up in here. This ring right now, is seized onto the actual shock body. So I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit to get it loose, and when I got that done, I'll come back and we'll get to the next part. Alright, so here we have it. Everything's torn down. My coilovers consist of 16 different components to make one strut assembly that goes onto your car. So this is why it's important to make sure you keep everything clean and maintained. So if one of these fails, you're just going to have a lot of trouble. So now that it's all taken apart, I'm just going to use water and soap, a wire brush on all the threads, and just wipe everything down, wash it, dry it, and then we can put it all back together. But before I do all of that, we're going to go and disassemble the rears. For the rears, another lock ring, which needs to be loosened off. I already have it loose, and we need to unthread the bottom collar for the shock assembly. Now that we got the bottom collar and ring off, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up the bolt. Right under the dial here, there's threaded rod from the top of the piston, and it's really dirty, so I'm gonna have to go and clean those off, or else I'm gonna have a real pain trying to get this top housing off of the entire shock, because this just unthreads, so this will just come right straight off, and I'll be able to access this entire mechanism and take that dial out, because it's just seated in there. As you can see, I can move it up and down. Here we have it, everything laid out on the table, completely disassembled. Now all we have to do is, like I said, clean it and use water and soap on everything, clean it all up, dry it off. That should be a lot of fun, and with a little John Jay magic. Alright, there it is. Everything is clean. It took me about 2 hours to do. Like I said, soap, water, a couple wire brushes, some microfiber rags, and I got the job done. So we'll go through. So I still got some anti-seize left here, which is fine, because I'm just going to cake this entire threaded section on both the rear and the fronts, just so I don't have to worry about them getting any dirt and grime in behind the collars again. The rear top mounts look amazing. They're like brand new. They came out so good. Everything is great. I'm loving it. So with a little hard work, I mean, it's completely worth it. Alright guys, let's do the unboxing of the wheels. Surprised I actually have my buddy just showed up. Look at this guy. Just blocking my entire freaking driveway. Let me get my camera posted up on my tripod. There it is, the Rotiform RSEs. These are the 9.5 inch by 18. Nice concave. I went with a 35mm offset all round. So the rears are 9.5, like I said. Specs 9.5, 35mm. The rears are 18 by 8.5 with a 35mm offset. They look great. I'm super stoked about them. Alright, that concludes today's video. Hope you like the wheels. Hope you like the content. Give me a like and subscribe. I'll be doing a part 3 video on the coilovers, how to adjust your ride height, how to dial everything in, and I'll see you guys in the next video.